Hello everyone, welcome to How-FixIT. If you've forgotten your Apple ID password and facing iCloud and activation lock issues with your Apple Watch Series 7, it might be time to replace the motherboard to fix these problems. In this guide, I'll walk you through the entire process to help restore your watch's functionality. Let's take a look at the tools you'll need for this repair. A tri-wing 0.8mm screwdriver, plastic pry tools, tweezers, the screen disassembly tool, essential due to the slim gap between the screen and the watch frame, Glue 7000, good for high elasticity, anti-vibration, and water resistance, and adhesive sealant tape. Links to all the tools you need are in the video description below. I advise using a magnetic mat throughout the disassembly process, especially for repairing a device like the Apple Watch Series 7. This will help you manage each screw's placement and ensure accurate reassembly. And you don't have to worry about the screws getting lost. They will all securely adhere to the magnetic mat. Alright, let's get started. Make sure to turn off your Apple Watch. Then, for easier access, use a hairdryer to gently warm up the display surface. Now, insert the edge of a curved blade into the thin gap between the display and the watch case. Gently, work your way around the edge to separate the display, but be careful not to push the blade too deep inside. Once the screen is separated, carefully turn the display towards the watch crown. Next, use tweezers to peel off the black tape, covering the ribbon cables. Now, use a plastic tool to open the locking tabs on the display and gently peel off the black tape covering the display ribbon cables. Remove the screen. The Apple Watch battery is glued to the watch body. To safely remove it, apply some isopropyl alcohol under the battery and wait for a few moments. Use a plastic tool to carefully pry out the battery and remove it from the watch. Remove the battery. Next, remove the screws securing the vibration motor. Disconnect the cable and take out the vibration module. Remove the screws securing the speaker and carefully take out the speaker. The next step is removing the back cover. Use a hairdryer or heat gun to heat the back cover to loosen the adhesive underneath. Insert a curved blade in the seam between the watch frame and the back cover. Carefully begin to separate the back cover from the watch frame. Slide the pry tool around the watch frame to slice its adhesive, but do not insert the tool deeply into the watch housing. Remove the back cover. During disassembly, the band release buttons and springs may fall out. The buttons have tiny springs on each end, crucial for proper functioning. During reassembly, ensure each button has 2 springs and is positioned correctly. Use a plastic spudger to pry and disconnect the motherboard from the back cover. You can now remove the motherboard. If you suspect that the motherboard is faulty, or you forgot the password, and your Apple Watch is locked due to iCloud activation issues, replacing the motherboard can fix this problem. In the description, I left a link to the motherboard for the Apple Watch Series 7. Let's start reassembling the Apple Watch. The back cover should be glued to the watch case to ensure water resistance. I recommend using a silicone gasket to ensure the proper fit of the back cover. Use isopropyl alcohol to wipe the watch frame. This gives the best adhesion to the glue. If you don't have such a silicone gasket, and the old pad is still in good condition, you can use B7000 glue. This isn't the best solution, but it might work if you need to complete a repair immediately. The band release buttons have tiny springs on each end, crucial for proper functioning. During reassembly, ensure each button has its 2 springs and is positioned correctly. When installing the back cover, check the button mechanism. It should work correctly, and push it back into its normal position. Now, reinstall the battery. If the adhesive pad for the battery is damaged, use double-sided adhesive tape to secure it. Let's test the watch before we start gluing it together. Power up your Apple Watch and test the digital crown, speaker, heart rate sensor, microphone, and wireless charging coil. If the watch works fine, let's proceed with restoring water resistance and completing the reassembly. Before gluing the display to the frame, remove any remaining old glue. Use isopropyl alcohol to wipe the watch frame. This gives the best adhesion to the glue. Let's glue the display to the housing to restore splash, water, and dust resistance. You can use only the adhesive sealant tape or silicone glue like B7000. For better protection, I recommend additionally using silicone glue. Secure the display to the main housing with clips. The glue dries completely after 24 hours, but the minimum surface drying time is 3 minutes. But I recommend waiting at least 45 minutes, after which you can remove excess glue from the housing. If you found this guide helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech tips and guides. Visit our website for more tech insights and do-it-yourself guides. Remember, every tech challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. The Apple Watch Series 7 repair is complete. You are watching How Fix It. Thanks for joining me, and see you next time.